If you have employees that are constantly making the same mistakes week after week, the easy answer is to blame it on laziness. However, in service-related businesses, motivation is rarely the issue. Generally, it's because of a lack of clarity, training, and accountability. So in this video, we're going to go over how to determine if you have a bad employee or bad systems. And in doing so, you're going to figure out ways to improve your profitability as well. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Before we get started, my name is Carter Doyle. I served in the military for 12 years as an Army infantry officer, got out, started, grew, and sold my own company, and now I help businesses just like yours improve their training systems to see bigger margins faster. If that's something you're interested in, check out the link in the description down below. We'd love to help you out. Now let's get into the video. As a service business, I'm sure you've had the issue of a constant and repeated issue. Now, let's not take away the issues that are scattered all over the place, like one-offs here and there, but for right now, we're going to talk about the repeat issues. Whether it's one person or 3 or 4, however many employees it is, there are certain things that just always get missed, or that people are constantly complaining about, or managers constantly having to look after to take care of. The easy answer is they're lazy, they're just here for a paycheck, they don't actually care, they are just bad employees, and they're not listening. I'm here to tell you that more realistically, it's that the training was not adequate or not conveyed in a way that they could understand it. And there hasn't been follow-up or clear kind of standards and guidelines of what right looks like. So we're going to go through how to fix that right now. The two things I want you to think about are process and end result. And what you're going to do in both of them is have the employee walk you through the process and tell you the end result. And you're not going to interrupt. So that's the important part, is when they're walking you through both of these steps, you're not going to interrupt, or you're not going to have a manager try to give feedback while they're doing it. You're going to have the employee talk you through their process. And that's step 1 of process, is talking you through it. They're going to explain from their perspective what correct is and what they should be doing. So we're not the end result yet. We're just in the process still. Have them talk you through it. So we're going to use the example of the 2 mop bucket method. If you don't know what that is, it's a janitorial term. I'll make a video on that if you want. Just let me know. But we're going to use the 2 mop bucket method for mopping a floor of a showroom, let's say. Have them talk you through the process. How do you do the 2 mop bucket method? And for this example, we're going to say the repeated issue is the floors don't look clean. There's still some sticky spots and some residue. Okay. So have them talk you through how to do the 2 mop bucket method. Now, let's say they pass with flying colors. Then step 2 of process is have them do it. Have them complete the task in front of you. You or the manager, but let's just say you. Okay. So they might talk a good game, and that's great, but the end result is still not correct. So you're going to have them perform the task for you. And let's say they understood the description of it, so they talked you through it and it all sounded correct. But when they're actually doing it, they're doing something different from what they just described with their words. That is where the breakdown is. And again, the whole time you're taking notes on where the breakdowns are in this process. So as they're walking you through the process, let's say that they call the clean bucket the dirty bucket and the dirty bucket the clean bucket. And so they're just mixing up some terms, which is affecting the end result. Well, again, now you have good information on where the breakdown of the process is. Once they've done both of those tasks and you have a good grasp on their procedures, then they're going to move on to end result. And this is, again, they're going to talk you through what they believe the end result is. Sticking with the same mopping the floor method and example, if they just say the end result is get the floor wet and dump out the mop bucket. I mean, in so many words, yes, but we can do better. And so if they don't understand that the end process is removing all stains, smudges, stickiness with no excess water on the floor to leave a clean surface for the next day for the customer, maybe they don't say it that eloquently or that many words, but if they understand kind of what the end process is, perfect. If they don't, then that might be part of the breakdown, is they don't understand what they're working towards, and so they don't understand where they're falling short. So you're going to have them talk you through it. And then once that's done, you're not going to correct them. If it's a big issue, correct them on the spot or have the manager do it. But you're going to go back and then either at that time or another time, retrain them from the start on the entire process. And they might roll their eyes. They might get upset. I know all this. Well, apparently they didn't. So walk them through the whole process. Don't just retrain them on the one piece. train them the whole entire process, because once they understand the process and the end result, they then have a mastery and a good understanding of what correct looks like. And more importantly, your managers, when they come to follow up with them, will not be spending time retraining them, redoing the task, or following up and trying to find a new employee or whatever the issue is. Now, we talked about finding the difference between a bad system and a bad employee. The bad employee indicators here are going to be if they can talk a good game, they talk you through the process correctly, they show you the process correctly, and they know the end result, but they're still just not doing it. Maybe it's a motivation thing. Maybe it is a laziness thing. Maybe they just don't care. But once you've learned where the breakdown is, whether it's in the knowledge or their performance, then you can make the determination of if they're a good fit or if they were just trained incorrectly and they need some accountability to be able to do better at the job. Another note on this is if that employee is only getting dinged for that one task that they just repeatedly mess up, but there's 15 other tasks that don't get mentioned and they're doing a good job on, that is a good indicator, or another good indicator, that they're actually a pretty good employee and they just didn't understand that one task. So retraining them on that specific issue is going to be a lot easier and cost effective to just retrain them, as opposed to letting them go and then having to rehire someone who's going to potentially not get the same training that the person you just let go had and end up in the exact same place. So that's why we want to take a look and not just blame everything on laziness, and take a look at our systems to make sure that we're actually correcting them. And the good thing about systems is that they are fixable. If that's something you're looking to have done, then please head over to my website, reach out to me. I'd love to get in contact with you and see if I'm able to help you improve your systems to help you keep more money in your pockets. So if that's something you're interested in, please reach out. I'd love to help you out. Thank you again for watching. Be good. God bless. I'll see you in the next one.